Что так громко? Я сделал все, что мог со звуком, все было замечательно. Если не будет замечательно, то я, ну, хуй знает. Ой, как резко. Тихо, тихо, тихо. Ты, если тебе холодно, шапку надень. Заюш. О, птица. В смысле? Ким! Ким, ты предал меня? Ким, как ты мог? Я же не переодевался. Ким, почему? Так, все, мы вернулись. Или это... Я не могу никуда заходить без него. Так, что ли? Погодите, мы сейчас это проверим. Типа, я не могу оставить его одного, иначе он потеряет куртку. Сейчас мы зайдем и выйдем. Если это так, то это пиздец. Нет, все хорошо. Дело, значит, не в этом. Кем ты напугал меня? Надо так. Да! Ура! Так, я заглушу тебя, пожалуй, на 2 часика. Настолько я буду играть. Я покопался с настройками, я сделал все, и наконец-то, я надеюсь, звук нормальный. Ну и, разумеется, в данном случае сыграли... Я даже чуть-чуть приближу микрофончик. Нормально. В общем, сыграла то, что действительно аппаратура теперь новая. Учитывая то, что, в принципе, мои наушники уже умирали, я приобрел новые, но они оказались говном, и я их вернул. Я очень расстроилась из-за того, что, типа, когда я пыталась купить себе новую вещь, она оказалась хуйней. Ну, то есть ее не ловил мой комп. И я такой, типа, блядь, какое говно, я выбрал хуйню, и мне ничего не нравилось. А я психанул, пошел, и теперь у меня есть вот эти ребята. У них съемный микрофон, он отдельный, и он, насколько я знаю, хороший. Ну, короче, у них отдельный провод, у них есть провод обычный, который к телефону подключается, ну, короче. А есть, который... Шапку надень, махоросая! Вот, а есть, который, короче, через USB, и там пишут, что там должен быть какой-то ебовый звук. И если он хороший, то я рад. Наконец-то! Это свершилось! Вот. Хе-хе-хе, колдунство! Так, я надеюсь, что если мы еще немножко поговорим с ребятами, Ким не снимет свою куртку, потому что это был какой-то глюк, который меня напугал. Мы будем следить за тем, чтобы Ким носил свою куртку, и все было хорошо. Да? Хорошо. Так, нужно убрать этот ёбаный фонарь, он меня бесит. Что здесь было? Бутылка с Забавно, почему я ее не вижу? Что происходит? Я не знаю. Убираем фонарь. Настроился звук, но поломалось все остальное. Так, сохраняемся. Пацаны. Так, это у нас... А почему у нас такая низкая логика? Я пролистаю пиздёж с ними, потому что... Что у нас еще повышает логику? Ага, чечи. Все, что не куртки. Это нельзя одевать. Это хороший пиджак, но мы не можем менять. Техника. Э, У нас нет штанов на логику, у нас нет ботинок на логику. Ну, хотя бы +2. У нас шапка. У нас есть самарийская шапка на логику. Она очень оскорбительная, но это все, что мы можем. Нам нужно много логики. Купри-ланж. Существует купри-ланж. О май гад. Котея. Ёпта. Так, у нас... Андре, замолчи. У нас просто... Я все это проклацывала, просто я пересохранялся, чтобы Ким был в куртке. Алло, блядь. Ладно, мы спросим у салона и... Это что? У. Нам все еще нужно поговорить с Соной. Нет, нам нужно было поговорить с девочкой. Мне кажется, мы не провели с ней разговор. Мы возвращаем себе лук эмпатии. Ботинки на эмпатию у нас так есть, нормально. Шапки не дают нам эмпатию. Шапки не дают нам эмпатию. Галстуки тоже. Это дает трепет. Ладно, попозже мы повысим себе эмпатию чем-нибудь. Мы все еще думаем над подпольем? Да. 5 часов, ёпта. Попробуем поиграть 5 часов. Все в порядке, все нормально. Нам нужно поговорить с Оной, и я также проклацаю часть ее реплик, потому что, судя по всему, мы с ней уже говорили в прошлый раз. Она выглядит очень неприветливой, но на темы, которых она разбирается, она так любит попиздеть. Ну вот, я сказал то же самое, только другими словами. Да ты только что от души пиздела, а теперь просишь меня заткнуться. Ага, игра все это время молчала. Ну, заебись. А теперь она не молчит? Теперь все должно быть хорошо.
What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
М. У меня падает трансляция. 10 из 10. Давайте позакрываем всякую хуйню. Что еще может влиять? А почему у меня открыт Microsoft Edge? Или Edge-то не должен быть открыт? В любом случае должно все вернуться.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. Are we? That's what you measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. No. Yes. And... I don't care. I don't care about crabmen.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
Do I look like someone who has time for side projects at this moment?
If you want her help, maybe you should help her first.
The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks.
Так, теперь мы можем идти говорить с пиздюками. Надеюсь, Ким, ты не лишишься куртки. Я до сих пор не знаю, почему ты лишился ее в прошлый раз. И нам пришлось потерять прогресс. Ну ладно. Ага. Все. Что?
Hi again. So, how are things going? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo. Meteo, a country on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla. Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? You're totally wrong about that.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
Любовь действительно может быть хардкорной.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Feels good.
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse, you look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Ну вот, чтобы у нас были высокие полицейские волны, прям 9 баллов, когда-нибудь мы это перепройдем. А с хорошим звуком перепройдем, а не будет, что у нас 10 стримов. Было ужасное звучание.
Are we?
Yeah! Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
Goodbye, officer.
Сохранимся.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Nothing jumps out to you. How about you get out and breathe? The air in the tent is too thick for you.
Goodbye, officer.
Нет, на этот раз я, блядь, обязан это сделать. Ким, я все еще думаю о тебе. Не теряй там куртку. Да, ты стоишь там один, без меня, но мы рядом. Мы как-то... Это же все равно означает, что мы вместе. То, что ты не захотел сюда заходить, это, ну, это же не моя инициатива. Что у меня есть на логику, ёб твою мать, кроме шапки? У меня все есть на... нужно очки сменить на логику. Давай. Обуви на логику у меня нет, штанов на логику у меня нет. Ну, что ж, давайте хотя бы восприятие, может, она нам поможет. Ну, так, давайте постоим. Может, нам поможет авторитет.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Nothing jumps out to you.
Да ёп!
How about you get out and breathe?
Goodbye, officer.
Что за предательство? Что это за предательство?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Я не буду переодеваться, это не важно.
Nothing jumps out to you. How about you get out and breathe?
Goodbye, officer.
Ах ты мразь. Ах вы мелкие хитрые засранцы. Вы думаете, вы меня не переиграете? Вы думаете, вы меня не уничтожите? Все должно было быть наоборот. Я тупой. Ты. Вот это. Драма, наверное, мне не очень поможет. Все потому, что у меня все забирает логику. Очень сильно забирает логику мои мысли. Потому что они нелогичные.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Nothing jumps out to you.
Серьезно?
Nothing- How about you get out and breathe?
Goodbye, officer.
Goodbye, офисер. Я вас разъебу. Я буду делать это
Hi
столько, сколько
again.
потребуется.
So, how are things going?
Nothing jumps out to you. How about you get out and breathe?
Goodbye, officer.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Goodbye, officer. Hi again. So, how are things going? Goodbye, officer.
Кстати, почему я все еще не могу закурить?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look.
Я случайно нажал кнопку, когда хотел закурить, и теперь у меня получилось, ну да? Так это работает.
How
Отлично.
about gather around, kids?
Спасибо. Ну что ж, детишки, давайте я расскажу вам сказку.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Давным-давно, не знаю когда и где, но тут явно не обошлось без предательства. Я заболел и превратился в тень, что сейчас перед вами. Но у меня есть основания полагать, что до того, как это случилось, я был настоящим детективом полиции.
But you still are.
Хотите верьте, хотите нет, но мне даже доверили табельное оружие. С этими словами ты похлопываешь по кобуре. Настоящую пушку.
Silence. He watches your hand anxiously.
What happened?
Жизнь поимела меня во все дыры.
That's a real downer.
Ну что ж, даже с того момента прошло 1000 лет. Во мне еще кое-что осталось от прежнего детектива.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
Дело ведь не в открытии клуба. Палатка забита лабораторным оборудованием для производства наркотиков.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
А где его братишка? Он что, потерялся?
What do you mean, friend?
Второй динамик. У вас ведь только один.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music.
Хули
Other
ты-
speaker.
Хули ты мне пиздишь мне в лицо? У вас или нет наушников?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want? And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
No shit.
Короче, вы пытались использовать полицейского, чтобы организовать нарколабораторию.
That's... Come on, that's...
Будем пугать их максимально.
It's not.
So this is what power feels like. Do you like it?
Да.
No, it's not true is what I meant.
Так что же нам с вами делать?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this. Time for a threat. He can't handle the pressure.
Мы можем сделать вот это. Ну, во-первых, у меня всего одна пуля, я не буду ее на это тратить. А во-вторых, ну, Ким не одобрит.
Really?
Конечно нет, я же полицейский.
Or else...
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
А вот это мы, по-моему, уже проходили, поэтому мы просто пролистаем.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved. No, man.
But the sun.
So,
This is it. Judgment time.
Никакой наркоба... Вот это вот, короче, вот вы поняли.
Yeah!
I knew it's impossible.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind, a grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Giraud and all the houses on Main Row. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drug. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but. I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Goodbye, officer.
И вот если сейчас Ким окажется не в куртке... Блять! Мы слишком долго много перезагружались? Или что? Я не согласен на это. Это... Я против. Почему ты снял свою куртку? Из-за того, что я был там так долго? Блядь. Я расстроен. Я хотел, чтобы мы ходили в них. Я не хочу еще раз это проклаться. Ладно. Ладно. Мы ведь будем переигрывать. Мы ведь будем переигрывать с высокой эмпатией, с высокими вот этими всеми штуками. Это мы сейчас играем за физика, а мы будем играть за эмпата. Хорошо. Мне больно от этого. Вот, Гарри понимает мои чувства. Но я приму, что ты не хочешь ходить со мной. Или это потому, что у меня оскорбительная шляпа? Это из-за оскорбительной шляпы? Я выброшу ее, или выбрасывать ее тоже будет оскорбительно. Нифига не понятно. Я опечален. Я одену просто красивый лук и буду так ходить. Я продолжу ходить в этой куртке, Ким. Мне ведь не стыдно. Это тебе должно быть стыдно.
Hello again.
У меня не получается работать с детьми. Я вроде как был физруком, но почему-то у меня не получается. Ну, бывает. Не все мы можем сделать идеально.
Yes, what is it?
А что нам, кстати, нужно сделать? Блядь, я не сказала мнение салона. Проблема в том, что мы не особо можем что-то сейчас поделать. Ну, типа, мы можем пойти по основному квесту, но тогда начнет нестись такая ебантина, что как-то... Короче, у нас очень быстро будет обрубаться все, что может обрубиться.
So, how things going? Yes? What's the deal? And? What did she say?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world.
Это мы
And
тоже
she doesn't
спрашивали.
like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Какой ты безливый и красноречивый, Андре.
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, honour man.
Что тебя не устраивает?
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist, coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music? Wonderful! If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer.
По идее, можем еще попытаться найти коннект с Эйкомоном, вот с этим перцем. Но, блядь, делать это наугад пиздос. А сейчас искать, блядь, правильный путь в интернете я не хочу. Это именно лабиринт диалога, то есть тебе нужно запомнить последовательность, блядь, того, как с ним надо разговаривать, для того, чтобы выйти с ним на нормальную речь, иначе он будет постоянно говорить про хардкор, и ты такой, блядь, такая ебантина. Так, возвращаемся к нашей дорогой Соне. Милостивая леди. Мадемуазель, мадемуазель. О, мадам. Ой, здесь крысы. Мадемуазель. Ким, я все еще обижен.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
Какая-то мстительная.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it. Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament. On Rue de Saint-Ghislain, in the East Delta Commerce Center. You might be more familiar with the name Doomed Commercial Area. You could get in through the bookshop on the plaza. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe. Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the offside copy from the ice bear.
Блять, моя хорошая, если бы ты пришла туда одним днем ранее, ты бы нашла там не копию, а труп наемника.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying,
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the valley of the heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks. The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore and she won't let me in. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil.
А зачем тебе ключи? Можно же просто выбить дверь, как сделала это я.
It doesn't emit. It receives. You sound just like her. She started praying when she first saw my rain. Turned to higher powers.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kvalsund.
Хорошо, что мы умеем телепортироваться. Моя хорошая. Ким, я все еще обижен на тебя. Я не смогу быть обиженным долго, но я постараюсь быть обиженным достаточно. Пока ты снова не будешь таким же экстрамилом, как ты бываешь. Квасланд. Это продвинутая монтировка. Монтировка на +2, так сказать. Изготовитель кваса. Количество приспособлений, спрятанных в оранжево-сером корпусе этого универсального инструмента, поразит любого технаря. Ким, хочешь, я поражу тебе инструментом? Ну, большевато бандура. Надо ее выключить. Надо ее выключить.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Погодите, даже с Квасландом грубая сила 28? Что? Что? Ну да, но у меня на 3, но типа... Что мне там добавляет? Ты? Иди сюда. Это авторитет, это техника, но пригодится. Больше мне ничто не забирает грубую силу, ничто не... Что? Ты сейчас, конечно... Блять. Ну что ж.
This orange machine is dead still. Its ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewaltsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker.
A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
Я перестала на него злиться. Все. Мы найдем мороженое, Ким. Обязательно его поедим. Я думаю, нам обоим нравится что-то слизывать.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen Kilda as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs.
Ну, честно говоря, мне не особо интересно. Там не то чтобы дофига информации. Но мы можем глянуть чисто. Мы знаем пароль, мы знаем ориентир. Нет, нам нужно побыстрее разделаться с самим квестом, чтобы мы занялись более важными для нас вещами. А более важные для нас вещи — это попытка хорошо станцевать и заставить потанцевать Кима. А для этого нужно, чтобы пацаны и девчонка перебрались сюда.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait, no. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
No, it's not dangerous, just depressing. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. No, this is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that. Cold sweat trickles down your spine. This is spooky as hell. Sorna doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here, I found it. Hold on. Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly. Thank you.
О, ты сразу стала милой.
There, in the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double check my calculations.
You like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bolt 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bolt 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick. Thanks.
Нужно убрать Квасланд, он нам больше не понадобится вообще никогда. А в остальном... Ты-ты-ты-ты-ты-ты-ты. Вот то, что я почему-то не могу нормально поговорить с девочкой о контактном мике, это прям обида ебаная. А почему я не могу двинуть? А.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. Oh boy, this is going to be good. It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Мне кажется, должно быть достижение за то, что ты не бегаешь в церкви.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be something terrifying. Maybe it's going to tear the world apart. Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant takes a step back, and then nothing. Nothing happens as Sona Lokinen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't talk, her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus, one hand cupping the headphone.
Damn it! Yeah, nothing happened, let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No, my hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace. You mean the speed freaks? Of course, the speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me? I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Hello again.
Может, так. Надо еще раз поговорить с ней в микрофоне. Мы должны знать о нем побольше.
Sure. Contact Mike.
Почему я не могу вспомнить контент? Короче, боксер этого ебаного.
The Mike? I don't exactly know.
Это мы
Same place I
спрашивали.
got the recorder from. The ELYSIUM. Sure. Okay. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth. Which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I know. I should have been able to control them. And I will in the future. I promise. May I ask? What did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Ладно, давайте, наверное, мы должны сходить к этим. Которые изучают несуществующих насекомых. И, возможно, мы качнемся и качнем нам нашу эмпатию. Только для того, чтобы поговорить с этой маленькой девочкой. Тынь. Тыры-ты-ты-ты. Привет. Hi, guys.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Да я сам своего рода криптозоолог.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about? No. It's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The 8-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21. It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm. The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up. Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Eat the bird, Uwe. It's the only way to survive.
Yes, a bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Watch out.
Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uwe spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away. The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind. Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrau is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
Тебе нравятся летающие штуки, лейтенант?
Sadly, yes, but there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know? Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago. The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life. Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
It's actually a little hard to see, but do go on.
Жить ужасно, если в твоей жизни нет КИМА КАЦУРАГИ. Я опять говорю КАЦУРАГИ, хотя он КИЦУРАГИ. Все еще ошибаюсь.
Everything has a price, sweetie. After Mijanu treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream. That would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes. A mirage or a psychogenous luminance. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Huir. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
Так, вроде все.
Of course, dear. Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
That is a way, way bigger compliment than it sounds like. Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story. and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Our first, yes. It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere.
Так. Спасибо, автосохранение. А теперь нам нужно кое-кому дать пиздюлей.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
Не пизди.
I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
Тихо, тихо.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
I took the hanged man's cuirass. I didn't mean to.
Пизди мне больше давай.
God damn it, Gary.
Я хочу унижать тебя.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once. Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay. And he's followed Morel into God knows what jungles.
Да, я собирала коллекцию российских кружек.
He's a loyal friend.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
А ты, блядь, думал. Ну вы же не привыкли, что копы вообще приезжают, так что, разумеется, ты не думал, что мы вообще появимся.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Но в любом случае, думаю, ему приятно слушать извинения.
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
He's a scaredy cat.
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Красиво. Ну, у меня, видимо, весь комплект. А почему, кстати, у нас внутренняя империя стала говорить чаще? Давайте реально весь комплект наденем. А что с силой воли-то? Отлично. И вот теперь у нас есть весь комплект. Просто весь. Отлично. Что тебе повторить? И он нам очень идет. Просто. Мне кажется, вот этот костюм прям подбирался, понимаете? Из всех луков Гарри этот прям... Да. Насколько же у Гарри более широкая жопа по отношению к жопе Кима? Ну, типа... Видите? Просто в 2 раза. Привет, ребят.
Again? I can't believe.
Again.
Не хочешь, так не хочешь. Ну и иди нахер. Сиди здесь. Я предлагал тебе попиздеть. Ты вот это начинается. Так, мы можем... Подполье еще сколько? 3 часа, ёпта. Мы должны были качнуть эмпатию, чтобы поговорить с ребенком. А для чего нам еще нужно? А больше ни для чего. А почему у нас... А, у нас, наверное, мысль какая-то внутреннюю империю дала. Души недостаточно, авторитет достаточно. Вот эти полезные штуки нам хватает. Зачем мы качали драму, я не знаю. Возможно, чтобы спеть. Ну давайте для ребенка качнем эмпатию. О, пошел снег. Кстати, пойдем к другому ребенку вернемся. Может, можно будет с ним поговорить.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Так это мы спрашивали.
Too brutal for you, huh? Kuno fuck your tongue off. Why are you fucking on yourself in front of Kuno? Talk kingdom to Kuno, or fuck off. Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't fucking...
Ну и ладно. И раз идет снег, нам, по-моему, нужно было вернуться У нас была мысль, что нам нужно пойти, когда пойдет снег. Мы будем без быстрого перемещения это делать, потому что вдруг снег прекратится. Кстати. Я ведь так и не сказала деду, что у него ловушки-то наебнули. И нужно вот эту барыню сводить на свидание. Когда разойдемся с Кимом, нужно сводить ее на свиданку. Это после 9. Это значит, что мы додумаем гомосексуальное подполье, а потом позовем женщину на свидание. Да. Так, мне нужно было вернуться куда-то сюда, когда пойдет снег. Но я не знаю почему. Может быть, мне показалось. Может, нужны какие-то другие особые условия. Да. Anyway, возвращаемся к ребенку. Во-первых, нам нужно убрать вот это, что забирает нас эмпатию. Нам нужно вернуть ботинки, которые дают нам эмпатию. Что еще дает нам эмпатию? Какие-то из очков? Нам какое-то пальто давало эмпатию. Ну, раз Ки снял свое пальто, то мы тоже можем снять пальто. Мы можем вернуть себе наше вот пальто на координацию. Видишь, Ким, я тоже это делаю. Вот так. Но я это делаю, чтобы не потому, что вот кто-то ушел от меня в палатку, а чтобы помочь ребенку. Понимаешь?
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
What is? Okay, I'll stick to it.
There is little you can do to help her now. But given the chance, you feel like you should. There is something about her. A weightiness. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to. What is it? Oh, really? Wow, social justice really matters that much to you. That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it though? No, it sounds like you just got chick issues. Okay, Why do you think that? There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she? Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her? Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank. You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
My associates? Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
А теперь они могут войти.
Hi again. So, how are things going? Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right? Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
Мишки. Дети ушли со льда.
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000? Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective? The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective. For the signs.
Lloyd's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
How about something simple? Like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia!
It's not amnesia, guys.
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
Ты лжешь мне в лицо. Ты на самом деле хотел бы.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the crabman would say.
Why not? The crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it?
The past is the future, but the future is dead.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience. It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
I'm dancing. Yes, my man.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves? Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better. But there's a noticeable lack of something.
Goodbye, officer.
Я понял. Нам сначала нужно сделать этот трек действительно хардкорным. А потом... Что у нас с эквилибристикой? Почему она такая низкая? Всего 4. Ну... А что у нас ей повышает? По-моему, у нас есть только то, что ее понижает. Ага. Только очки повышают эквилибристику.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair stands behind a mixer deck, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the church.
Hardcore! Ah!
The question is, what is the question? But there was a question?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? The young man behind...
Ладно.
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to internally coherent. All core! All
He furrows his...
hardcore!
The question is, but there was no question.
Back to the heavy. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to internally coherent. All core! All right! Gotta get the people going.
Yeah. We're close.
True. Hard. Foot. Hardcore. Hardcore is internally coherent. Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeko kata. The place to be. It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion. The spirit is what you feel. We're close. True. Hard. Hardcore. Hardcore is a internally coherent. All core. All right.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah.
Is it though?
One mind, one spirit. There's no other word. We're close.
Какой пиздец.
True. Hard. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. All right.
He furrows his.
Hardcore. Ah.
Is it though?
One mind.
Блять, я пошел
We're
не тем
close.
путем.
True. Hardcore. Hardcore is internally coherent. All core.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore.
The question is, but there was no.
We're close. True. Hard. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally. All core.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah.
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
It is, isn't it? I knew it. But how could it become harder core? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be? What? Guys, there's something happening in his head. Oh yeah, he's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
I know, so does mine.
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
Uh-huh.
Работать и не заниматься и дети, ну да.
Oh. No! This is the answer! Yeah!
Грубая сила, серьезно?
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chordate animal.
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? Oh no! Please become one! You'll miss out on so much good content otherwise. It's like being the greatest cop on Earth. Please! Please?
Хардкором должна заниматься полиция.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Does it? Oh, I know! I know this! I can tell you where it is!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that! I could have said that!
and the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway,
that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman! Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until
No.
the space escape!
No.
Yeah!
No.
Yeah! No nation, but transnation! No war, but class war!
he's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the ELYSIUM. She was a communist, though.
Yeah! With the rebel yell! Oh sure, I can do that! If you want that, I can avoid taking a stand!
Please don't turn him into a moralist.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Aye!
Ладно.
It's time to compromise! I'm swiftly moving toward a solution which pleases nobody.
You feel Jermaine Egghead's smile is too enthusiastic, but it'll have to do for now.
All right! Here comes the night!
Я получил очко навыков за то, что понюхал канализацию. Нормально.
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze. Just like promised, you've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages.
Просто биполярочка Гарри.
Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102, underneath a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. You tree-hugging pansy. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, a wintry breeze with slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending and unraveling. You manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
What's the tape for?
Не стесняюсь рассказывать.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it? You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the pawn shop uses similar tape.
Идем от хорошего боярышника. Тыры-тыры-тыры. Они синхронно бегают красиво, как лебедь. Здравствуй, бро.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Oh.
Nope, still no clue. You obviously haven't been doing enough drugs lately.
You mean re-spooling? Yeah, I do, but I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Huh? What do you... Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
Я говорил, что это офигенный чувак. Он просто лучший, он замечательный.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Yeah, it was. Re-spooling isn't that difficult, although I had to mend the tape in a few places. Anyhow, it's yours now. Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility, okay?
Разумеется, я специалист по responsibility. А там уже все.
All the old boomboxes are there.
Фонарь, фигурки. Пойдемте скажем Морелу про этих. Про его сраную саранчу. Сколько нам осталось? Всего 2 часа подумать о подполье. Морел.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
Surprise, tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet. Maybe you're joking?
No locusts? No phasmid either.
That's not ideal, but...
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point. We have an obligation to rule out other hypotheses.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be? Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now.
and brought some great news too. My gratitude and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol is your
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Не волнуйся, Ким, это будет легко и просто.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
a little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there. Disappointment. The first man to break formation is always a blow to leadership. This is bigger than he lets on.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long,
would be glory itself.
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists in our present case. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real. By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. I have to resist the thought such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis. Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect.
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
I don't know what got into him, officer. Thank you for letting him off easy. He won't forget it. We'll make sure he won't.
Ну, я его оштрафовал, так что все в порядке. So, сколько осталось? Всего полчаса мы с ними поговорили. Ёпта. Так. Куна, блядь. Привет, пиздюк.
Fuck, does Kuno care? No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about books.
Пиздишь.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, C.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison! Deny everything, Kuno.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locust.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here. If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
Он даже не смотрит на меня.
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Fuck, does Kuno care? Yeah. Kuno took the books, so what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
Yeah, well, Kuno's all you got, bitch. It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Да ты, блядь, поэт.
Stop!
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
Maybe I am.
А если, по-моему, похвалить его, он обидится, то есть ему это будет неинтересно, поэтому нам нужно... Здесь с этим пиздюком нужна обратная психология.
Oh, Kuno! It's so lame, even the pig knows it's lame. Please stop!
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Верной дорогой идешь, мой хороший, просто верный. Папочки одобряют.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. So that's what this is about. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face.
Если что, я нажимал как-то на другие варианты, и, ну, типа, она шла в агрессию, и вообще все было плохо.
Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
Да, блядь.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. See?
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Сначала у него подохнет, чё.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps? The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
She means it. The fear is real.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Боже, у меня появились с ней диалоги, ёб твою... Так много еще... Это типа вроде как нихуя, но так много еще не было. Пиздец, блядь. Пиздец. Ёб твою мать, Куна. Ты, блядь.
I come from the woods, Kuttavitu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
Я ее не мучаю, я говорю с ней. Я хочу найти контакт со всеми детьми в этом городе, потому что так нужно. Потому что детям нужна любовь.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was the case the save me? I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Ура. Что там у нас по подполью? 1 час. С кем можем еще попиздеть? Запись с мелодией для икомона. Ну, типа, басы мы нашли. Я не хочу давать ему в качестве мелодии, типа... последнюю запись стрелка. К тому же мы обещали Рою, что мы не будем делать негативных фотонов. А она полна негативных фотонов. Это вообще ужасно.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locust. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
There won't be a next season. Not for this. Find a phasmid or admit defeat, people.
You can? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Разумеется, это последний раз.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
These are fresh fractured locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
Glorian Church, the place to be!
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane, tangled in its branches. He stands on the other real deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side you see an auxiliary.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear. He listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself? Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready? Wow! Here's that! The signs match perfectly! Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper!
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough?
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits! Bring up...
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
You can't just leave it without a bass track.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore! Lungs are for love! Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on. 'Cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck. Feels good, like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
Было бы гораздо лучше, если бы это сказал мне Ким.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Теперь нам нужно найти бас. Где мы можем найти бас? 55 минут. Все, что я хочу, это чтобы у нас был разговор с Кимом. Это очень важно. Я хочу, чтобы это было сегодня. Дождь ебаный пошел. Я хуй знает, где найти бас. Блять, нам нужно еще с Соной поговорить. Сона. Я понял. Возможно, это будет бас, кстати.
Yes, what is it? What? What did you say? I can't hear you! The music is too loud! Oh, the project! It's not going well! There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and yekokata! A place to be, apparently! Thanks! Maybe you can get through his Magic rhymes! Let me know how it goes!
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car! To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5? Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. All right, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes, and then I'll turn off the music.
Yes, what is it? Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum! Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless. Of course it is.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Not so stoically, his hand moves to the gun holster. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
This fragile world is about to break.
It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down! No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to earth! Love!
Below it, all the base grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Beautiful car! Beautiful life!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down. But then it stops, totally and utterly, as if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
Слабак.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again. It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers, if they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear. They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording, although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway. Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Audrey. It's quite a lot in truth, for her at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows. You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago. These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light. Drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend. And a woman, she was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo as she was smoking.
What? But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her. She looks up into the darkness under the nave. Then,
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world. According to this, how long... And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
I also have a question. Since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Спасибо, детка.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists. Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus! Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers. I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development? True, we never should have upgraded to Vox 50. And the spec kept changing. And those damn heads. But still, the anomaly caused a massive data loss. So it had a part to play. It does something.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space. Maybe, but you want to know, is it possible? Probably. But is it a good idea? I'm not so sure. The main difficulty will be finding an antenna powerful enough to reach those frequencies. Unfortunately, you can't exactly buy mega long-wave antennas off the shelf.
She's not joking. Even the RCM has to receive special approval from the coalition to access that kind of equipment.
I highly doubt it. That tower is barely able to transmit shortwave signals across the bay. To generate mega low frequencies, we're going to need a much larger antenna.
She has an idea, though. You can see the tiny signal lights firing inside her brain.
I don't see any alternative. We're just going to have to build the antenna ourselves. We need metal, a lot of it. The taller the structure, the better. Something that is both prominent and easily accessible. If it's near a power source, even better.
Охуеть. Именно концептуализация нам нужна здесь. Именно концептуализация, с которой у нас прям пизда. Я не хочу тратить на концептуализацию 2 очка. Даже 1 очко не хочу. Блять. 5 минут. 5 минут на подходе. Отлично.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you. Goodbye, officer.
А чё там по записи? Ты сделал нормальную запись?
A better deal! Yeah! Medium! Yeah! It was awesome! And scary! Very hardcore! Too hardcore, in fact! I couldn't control it! At all! It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left! Starts compressing itself and everything around it! Completely fills up the headspace! Extreme!
Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse.
Oh! Oh! But how?
What about the compressor? The one with the spiky hair was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing.
Так. Это проще, чем концептуализация. Но на технику... Это наш максимум техники? Это наш максимум техники, ёб твою мать. Ну...
A better deal! Yeah! Mid
Нам просто придется пробовать очень много раз. Но мы попробуем.
A better deal!
Потому что нам нужен танец.
Medium car!
Bzz, 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 goes the track. The young man bobs his head to the...
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Bzz, bzz, the young man bobs his...
Чем мы можем повысить себе технику? Потому что это пизда столько раз перезагружаться.
A better deal! Yeah!
Не мысли.
Medium car!
Это что у нас, кстати? Чтобы не искушать себя, мы потратим это на мысли.
That's a deal! Yeah!
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background, never ending. The young man bobs his head to the music.
Ну ладно.
Yes?
Блять, ребят, мне нужно 2 минуты попиздеть. Просто вот...
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to thank you instead.
Я наверняка заслужила немножко обожания и похвалу.
For getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are. Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control.
Асель, ты поставщица главных гомосексуальных тем в моей жизни. Я так тебе благодарен, но мы, пожалуй, пойдем, потому что у меня есть очень важный разговор.
Sauna, the programmer. She's doing whatever she does. Behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much. And the crab man hasn't shown himself, thank God.
Это свершилось. Господа, свершилось.
Homosexual underground.